Well, we can start at least explaining what we're doing. So we're just going to play Kahoot, and it has it has like 18 questions about alt protein. They're all pretty simple, but if you know more about the space, you'll have an advantage. And I'm just going to put it up on the screen, and you can put the code in on your phone and press the buttons. I'm sure you guys have played in high school and stuff. Karina's going to talk about the prize.
Yes, so the winner of this Kahoot game will win a prized possession. It's the book Clean Meat by Paul Shapiro. And for those of you who don't know, Paul Shapiro is the CEO and co-founder of the Better Meat Company, and he hosts the Business for Good podcast. And he wrote this book called Clean Meat: How Growing Meat Without Growing Meat Without Animals Will Revolutionize Dinner and the World. So, fingers crossed for the lucky winner.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen now. Yes, the book will be signed by Paul Shapiro. Can you guys see the Kahoot screen? Cool. So you can just put the code into your phone and go to kahoot.it.
What does the disco music sound like?
Can you guys hear the music? Oh, disco. Let's see.
Yes. I had no idea there were other sounds besides the original.
Yeah.
No one's ever done that in any of my classes.
Wow. My bio teacher used to play like the reggae version.
Great.
That's fun.
There's so I'm gonna go back to the original.
I can't believe the chancellor made it on here.
Oh my god. He's at our meeting. I think we're waiting for two more people.
I think this is everyone because there's 7 people, including us, Deeksha.
Oh, right. Okay, let's start. And if you haven't joined, it'll still be on the bottom later.
Get it.
Okay, Karina, do you want to?
Yeah. So this first question is, what year was the Good Food Institute founded? The right answer was 2016, which feels pretty like recent. So understand person who put 2010. Good job to the 3 of you.
Oh my god.
So this question is, the Good Food Institute has ties with which large movement? The correct answer was effective altruism, also known as the EA movement, which is about doing the most good with like the most effective interventions. Okay, this third question is asking, according to the UN projections, global meat production is projected to double by what year?
Shit.
Yeah, so it's 2050, which is really soon, especially for meat production to double. And so alt protein hopefully will be able to play into that and sort of change projections as well. Sophia has a streak. Booyah. This question is, where does GFI work globally? You are all correct. It's the above and more. GFI staff in the United States, India, Israel, Brazil, Asia Pacific, which entails like Singapore, Hong Kong, etc., as well as a lot of places in Europe. So GFI is pretty much global and all around the world. We have turnover. This question is, when was the Chapel Hill Alt Protein Project founded? It was indeed 2020, which is maybe unexpected, but we are a very new movement at UNC, and so we're really excited for what the future brings. And this is going to test your alt protein company knowledge. So, which of these companies is based in Israel? The correct answer was Aleph Farms. You might know them because they've recently made news about being unleashing their like cultivated ribeye steak that's 3D printed. And their minister Netanyahu in Israel tried it as well. So he's like sort of a big proponent of alt protein in terms of policy, which is really cool.
So the next question is, which alt protein company is based in North Carolina? Yeah, so all of these are based in North Carolina. There's a bunch of companies here and it's growing. The alt protein space is going to be huge here, and that's super exciting. You don't have to leave. There are other alt protein project chapters at which of the following universities? So the correct answer is Cornell. There's actually several around the US and around the whole globe, and Cornell is one of them. We actually got the idea to do this Kahoot night from them, so shout out to Cornell. Which of the following is a method of making alt proteins using microorganisms? Yeah, you all got it right. That's fermentation. It can be used to make alt proteins and also enhance other ones in conjunction with other methods of making alt proteins. So it's a really exciting new field. You can get a career in alt protein through which of the following? Yeah, you can go into the industry with any of these fields and many more. You can basically apply pretty much anything to this. There's a lot of room for everything from science to the humanities and business and everything. So we can help you in this club figure out how to align your skills to the industry. The Chapel Hill Alt Protein Project is a student initiative supported by Yes, we're supported by the Good Food Institute. Yes, the other two also do things for the environment, but this is who supports us. All the Alt Protein projects are supported by them. And they're a nonprofit that works on accelerating all types of alt proteins through policy and technology and education and everything. They're super cool. You should check them out if you haven't already. This is a true or false question. Cultivated meat aims to get rid of the question disappeared.
I can read it if you can't see it, Deeksha. Cultivated meat aims to get rid of all organic plant-based options.
Yes, that is false. There's still going to be room for obviously other plants. We're not just going to completely switch over to cultivated products. We're just slowly shifting towards that. But the goal is definitely to get rid of all animal-based food, but that will take a while. What type of meat has the worst impact on the climate? Yes, it's beef. It has a huge impact on water use and land use. All three of these and all types of meat have a huge impact, but beef is definitely the worst in terms of how many resources it takes. So it's definitely important for us to develop alternatives to beef products. True or false, you have to be 100% vegan to make a difference. Wow, you guys answered that really quick. The answer is false. You don't have to be 100% anything to make a difference. You can just do your best, and even being a flexitarian or a vegetarian or anything makes a difference. If you just eat less meat one day, that's still going to do something, as long as you're trying and try to be aware of what you're consuming. Where can you go to find alt protein job opportunities? Yes, you can go to all of the above. We have a super cool job board on our website, on the top of it. And Karina, can you put our website like in the chat for anyone?
Yes, I
And you
will
can
send the
also
link
go
right now.
Cool. And on that job board section on our website, you can also find GFI's job board and a bunch of other ones, or you can also just email companies and ask for what you're looking for, and a lot of people will be willing to work with you. Which term is the correct way to describe, I can't say it. Yes, the answer is cultivated meat. All of these words have been used to describe it, but the official term is cultivated. GFI did a study to figure out which of these would be best, and it's the most, the term is the most familiar way to communicate about it. Lab grown makes it sound like very fake or, I don't know, not as comforting or welcoming. Cell-based also makes it sound like it's made in a lab, and then fake is just not true because it is technically real meat. So cultivated is just what we found, what GFI found to be the best term. That's what we try to use.
I'm gonna add a little bit to that. That was a great explanation. But I actually learned something recently where cultivated doesn't really translate well into many languages, and that GFI study was based in the US. So we use that all the time, but like some European languages use cultured, and that makes more sense when you translate it. And then with cell-based, that might be like the terminology used in more academic settings. So a lot of people still use that, and it might be the terminology used for like any governmental regulation.
Cool. Thank you for adding that. I did not know that. Super cool. Next one is, which company makes plant-based cheese? Yeah, Miyoko's makes really good plant-based cheese. I recommend trying it out. Impossible makes burgers on my top. And Rebellious Foods makes plant-based chicken, and Morningstar makes a lot of different things. They're like one of the old school plant-based companies, but yeah, Miyoko's is correct. This is our last question, I think. Where was the first cultivated meat sale in the world? Yeah, this happened a couple months ago. It was in Singapore by Just, which also makes eggs, I'm sure you've heard of. And wait, yeah. Sophia, do you want to talk more about that?
About what?
The first cultivated meat sale in Singapore, because I feel like I don't remember which company it was. I think it was Just.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was Just. So yeah, if you guys don't know, Just is known for making plant-based eggs, and they've also been working on cultivated meat research for years, and finally released it in Singapore under other brand called Good Meat, which is underneath Just. And yeah, it's a huge deal that Singapore regulated it. Regulatory barriers are going to be really big moving forward. So like, for example, Israel, they have a restaurant called The Chicken, and they're not selling cultivated chicken, but they're giving it away for free to like journalists to publicize about it, because they legally cannot sell it right now, but like they technically could. So that is something we're going to need a lot of policymakers for.
Thanks. Okay, now we're going to find out who the winner is.
Drum roll, please.
Hey.
At number 3, I have Sophia. Oh my god, the Chancellor.
Right. I'm assuming that's Catherine. Okay. Yay. Gonna stop sharing.